is done! It's cooked! Oh my god! I mean, alright, let's eat it! A portion of this video was sponsored by HelloFresh. The chicken you see here is the only one on Earth ever cooked by the power of slaps, and as funny as that might sound, the engineering required to pull this off was no joke. A couple months back, I posted a video investigating a question as old as time. How many slaps would it take to cook a chicken? The results were incredibly promising, increasing the chicken's temperature by as much as 16 degrees C above ambient. With the original rig destroyed by our testing, we were back at square one, but boy did I have a lot of suggestions on where to go from here. My comments and my Discord were both flooded with ideas, some of them pretty good and yeah, a lot of them were really bad. Multiple slappers, chicken-sized plate armor, a rig-sized vacuum chamber. All these suggestions addressed important issues with the original design, but each only really addressed one at a time. I needed all three: faster slap rate, more impact control, and minimal heat loss from the chicken. Right off the bat, I knew we'd need a stronger arm, so I made a new oak core aluminum version whose outer shell provides strength while the wood core adds rigidity. The original meat beater also had a fundamental problem, in that there was no way whatsoever to control the power of a slap without also adjusting the speed. This is a real issue because it means that as we go faster, we're forced to hit the chicken harder and harder, thereby accelerating its pulpification. What we need is a rig that can slap really, really fast without hitting the chicken all that hard, which means making a paddle that allows for adjustable slap depth. And yes, that's the technical term. This was the biggest overhaul from the original rig, which meant it was a pretty involved process. The design I settled on used a cutting board as the impact surface, aluminum angle bars for mounts, and spring steel strips as the adjustable height legs that connected it to the arm. This allows for far more control over how we impact the chicken without compromising too much on weight or flexibility. The other big issue with the original design was that the chicken was constantly losing heat to the environment, and this was where Joel's experience really came in handy. Joel suggested ultra-thin aerogel insulation, which would minimize heat loss from the chicken without greatly dampening the force of the slapper's impact. The genius of this design is that it basically acts like a one-way energy filter, where the kinetic energy from the slap is still transferred to the chicken, but once it's converted into heat, it has no way to escape. I also made sure that this time I measured the temperature in degrees Celsius, since as many pointed out in the comments, that's the scale used for real science, which, I mean, this definitely is. While unfortunately the new design made it impossible to see the chicken, the internal wireless thermometer and digital slap counter made our progress far easier to track. And we're off! Yes, we have an increase in temperature, 9 degrees C, let's go. In terms of chicken integrity, this chicken's looking pretty good. We're up another degree Celsius, let's go. The goal of this first attempt was just to figure out what still needed to be improved on the slapper, and the Meat Beater 9001 ran smoothly for the most part, requiring only a few pit stops to check on wear or manage heat dissipation. I have some cooking oil. It's not like really lube, but I think it'll do. We are cooking after all. With no major issues for the first couple hours, it looked like the road ahead would be nothing but smooth slapping.
Oh, we're okay. Nothing burned yet. No, what it needs is more tightness. Oh, what the f? We broke the bolt!
Talk about famous last words. Luckily, I had a spare bolt, so I swapped it out and kept going, tracking our progress along the way, and making sure to celebrate the most important milestone of all.
And now! 69 420 slap.
I didn't expect to cook the chicken on the very first try, but as the temperature kept creeping upwards, it started looking like a very real possibility. 100K! But something still felt off.
Guys, I just want to be clear, this is absolutely freaking mental, and I feel like it could explode at pretty much any second, so.
Oh. I have no idea what the f just happened. We're gonna check the temperature of this chicken. Oh. Oh, that's f***ing nasty. What in the f***'s name have we created? It is really hot, I have to tell you. 47, 45.8. It smells like We came really close on our very first attempt, but 48 degrees was still 9 or 10 degrees short of a reasonable pasteurization temperature for chicken. I can't nibble this. That's accepting defeat, and I don't accept defeat. But wait, 9 or 10 degrees? That only puts us at around 57 C, or 135 degrees Fahrenheit, and everybody knows that a fully cooked chicken needs to register at least 165 degrees in order to be cooked. But the thing is, that's just not actually true. The reason we cook our meat is to kill whatever bacteria it contains, which in the case of chicken, generally Campylobacter or Salmonella. 165 is the temperature at which chicken is instantly pasteurized. But dig a little deeper and you'll learn that maintaining a lower temperature for a longer period of time can have the same pasteurizing effect. By maintaining a temperature between 55 to 60 C for an extended period of time, we can achieve the same bacterial reduction as the typical FDA guidelines, and thus consider our chicken cooked. To take this all the way, the rig would need some upgrades. So in collaboration with my crack team of Discord engineers, we implemented some critical adjustments for the rig. To prevent the drive bolt from snapping, we upgraded to a 3/8" hardened steel bolt. I also observed a lot of heat building up in the motor during the test, so we swapped out our low CFM PC fan for a bona fide blowimatron and used bags of snow to hopefully achieve sub-ambient cooling through the case. All right, that looks pretty solid to me. Everything appears to be go. The second test was off to a great start. The motor was much cooler than before, and overall, everything was running far more smoothly. Ah, me, come on. Oh, come on, you kidding? So it turned out the motor wasn't the only thing that had been overheating, because in less than 30 minutes, we totally roasted the Variac.
Yeah, you can get one of those.
All right, cool. That's this whole project. It's like,
Oh, I wrote something else.
yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. The replacement Variac I ordered was rated for 30 amps, 10 more than the previous one, and I also added a PC fan on the back to provide some active cooling. I also noticed that the rectifier was getting extremely hot while testing, so I mounted it on a spare heatsink that I found lying around in Peter's shop. Yo! Let's go, baby! It's time to slap some freaking meat. Meat Meter 9001, 3, 2, 1. And we are off to the races. The third stream was off to a very promising start, and not too long after we began, we started knocking down those milestones.
10K.
Other than a handful of pit stops to adjust the chicken or to change out the snow, it was pretty much driving on autopilot.
Let's go!
All we had to do was wait. I knew something was up. Swapping out the backup arm in a desperate attempt to keep this run alive, I pressed on. But I knew that the imprecise drive slot meant that we were running this rig on borrowed time. It wasn't a question of if it'd break, but when.
Well, there's your problem. F in the chat. I know. Let's take a look at this chicken, all right? Let's see how we've done.
It's still a little rare, not cooked. All right, it's like 2:50 a.m. I'm roasted. Guys, I'm not gonna eat it. I'm too tired, I won't enjoy it. And just as those arms broke, so did I. I wanted more than anything to eat a meal cooked by the power of slaps, and I was gonna do it, no matter the cost. I built a new slapper arm reinforced with steel plates on the sides of the drive slot, and took Peter's suggestion to link the motors together with a belt to double the power output. The dual motor rig can output a maximum of 6 horsepower with a peak current draw of up to 40 amps. Having the motors linked like this should also lighten the load on the primary motor significantly and smooth out the bumps in speed that the rig ordinarily experiences. This is the Meat Beater 9001 truly pushed to the limit. And just as I was about to toss a chicken in there one last time, I realized something. If I'm gonna go to this much effort to cook something with slaps, it might as well be something that I feel comfortable actually eating. So before taking one last stab at cooking a chicken, I decided to try to make myself a fine steak dinner.
Currently, the steak is at 40 degrees C. We still need to get it all the way up to 60.
Since we'd already proven we can get meat to well over 40 degrees using a slapper, I took the liberty of using a sous vide bath to get it up to that initial 40-degree temperature. The steak was actually going really well. It seemed that as we just kept slapping away, the temperature kept rising. Somewhere around 48 to 50 degrees C, we kind of met a plateau.
I've completely lost confidence in this bag, so we're gonna switch bags.
But sooner rather than later, it started increasing again, and we were back to the races. My goal was to have a medium rare steak, and so 60 degrees C was the temperature that I decided to target. Yo! 60 degrees! 60 degrees! We got to 60 freaking degrees! Yes! The steak is done! It's cooked! Holy sh**! Oh my god! I mean, all right, let's eat it. All right, hold up. We have some juice. I'm gonna dump that out. Yo, it looks cooked in there. Holy sh**. No way! Yo! That is a steak, dude! Wait, whoa. I'm not even playing this up for the camera. Look at this thing. The smell, it smells like steak. No! Oh my gosh, it's got pink in the middle. Holy look at that! It's time to take a bite. Full disclosure, I got about the toughest piece of meat I could, reasoning that the slapper would like beat the life out of it. So appearance-wise, it looks kind of almost like soft. It feels kind of soft. Man, I can't believe I am eating something that came off the slapper. Honestly, the texture is kind of yeah, the texture is pretty bad. It basically tastes like you've been chewing it for a minute already, but if you can get past that, it actually tastes pretty good. I can't believe it. Yeah, that's a freaking steak. It's a really bad steak. Holy cow. With the steak having proven to be a resounding success, I was cautiously optimistic for our avian alternative. I ran the slapper as hard as I could, sustaining a minimum temperature of 55 degrees for almost 90 minutes. But despite nearly 2 months of work, the rig still broke before I was able to fully cook it. At least that's what I thought until I was editing this video. I'm looking at the, what? We cooked it. Yes, baby. Yes, we cooked it. We cooked it. I'm still not gonna eat that chicken, but we f***ing did it. That's right. After double checking the charts, it turns out we did cook the chicken. The big reason I didn't eat it is because due to a break in the balloon, the chicken got contaminated with fiberglass and aerogel. And if you calculate it out, you'd find that cooking a chicken requires a minimum of approximately 135,000 slaps. And that over the course of the 6 to 8 hour process, the Meat Beater 9001 would consume around 7,500 watt-hours of energy, or about 2 to 3 times as much as your oven would while making a typical roasted chicken. It's actually way better than I expected, but if you're considering spending the time and money to build a rig like this yourself, I'd recommend instead that you try cooking some delicious meals from today's sponsor, HelloFresh. HelloFresh is pretty much the opposite of the chicken slapper in almost every conceivable way. Where the Meat Beater takes several hours to prepare a typical meal, HelloFresh meals are designed to be fun and easy to make, so you can get dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes. HelloFresh is also sustainable, since the pre-portioned ingredients mean there's less wasted food and also less prep for you. No more throwing out chickens that just didn't fit down the tube.
Come on, get in there.
And where the Meat Beater produces food with questionably tasty results, HelloFresh's meals are absolutely delicious, with more 5-star recipes than any other meal kit. I've really enjoyed making meals from HelloFresh. As a young guy who's still pretty new to cooking for myself, they've really increased my confidence in the kitchen and turned cooking from a chore into something that I can really enjoy. I've always been consistently impressed with the quality of the meals and the ease of preparation, and you can use code WISE12 to get up to 12 free meals, including free shipping at the link below. That's WEISZ12 to get 12 free meals plus free shipping. Giving it a whirl really helps out the channel, and it's part of what makes it possible for me to do crazy videos like this one. Of course, there's always stuff I can't find a way to fit in, so if you want to check out more of what goes on behind the scenes, consider supporting me on Patreon, where you can get weekly video updates, plus a director's commentary with all the stuff you don't see, and Q&A for every single video. Thanks!